Well, hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Drop. This is the game that I would like to show you today. We're doing an overview, but we're going to refurb the format a little bit, maybe front load a bit of information. I'll explain the loop and it won't go on forever. So let me know what you think about this. Obviously we're trying a few new things on the channel, so something old, something new. Anyway, so let's jump in. This is a demo build that I'm playing of this. We've just got this generic sort of cyberpunk login sort of thing. And this will be available to all of you February 6th. So probably after this has gone up as part of a demo build in the Steam Next Fest. So there you go. I don't even know if that's big knowledge, but that's coming up. We're doing another Next Fest. So what is this? This is a roguelite game with a bit of Hollywood hacking thrown in there. So Hacknet is the king of that sort of thing. So it's not actual hard coding or edutainment or anything like that. We've got a bit of a shop here as well. I'll just rattle off a few details. It's best played with control, apparently. It's being made by Etherfield Studio, who's a relatively new studio. I think they were made in 2019. They're out of Budapest. This will be their first release. And speaking of release, the full release that is supposed to be coming out on late March, I think. So the demo is just in front of the release, and it's being published by giant Microprose that has made a huge comeback in the last year or two. Games that we could rattle off of Carrier Command 2, High Fleet, Regiments, all bangers that we've covered on the channel. So you're in safe hands with the pedigree here as well. Anyway, so look, what we'll do is we'll jump in and I'll show you what a run looks like. Again, it is sort of a roguelite. I really enjoy these graphics. The game doesn't start until you pull the trigger and you get a 5-minute window. There's a lot to actually unpack here because I'm a fair few levels in. It sort of consumed me last night. But once you press the button, it's gonna go. Essentially, all you really do at the core of it is this node you interact with. Like I can interact with these and not really do much, but you can see I can move around, right? And press like A and that sort of thing to go. So what I'm going to do, actually, I might just do a really slow sort of dud run. It's not going to be exactly optimal, but I'll explain it because the thing about this game is about spinning plates and it's about pressure. So you start, bang, and it starts unlocking the node, right? Now this is your sort of eject node. This is your dungeon exit sort of thing. That's always your first node, and you could detach. See, it's not possible, but once you complete the objective down the bottom, which is download document package named prog G rescore, then you can leave. Anyway, so what happens is you essentially open these nodes up, right? Now you can see I've got like a little sort of action monitor on the left. See those 3 pips under the word highway? They're like my processing power. So if I put that in there, I put that in there, it's a job queue, right? Now these are actually all pretty quick, but for example here, these little subtasks, which are to integrate a processor into our kitty, take a little bit longer. They take up a bit more like that, okay? So you're doing this the whole time. Now what we really want to do is try and find the log, because that warning that you're hearing, that's not good. There it is there. Now what you can do is you queue these jobs. I'm deleting logs. Oh my God. You can see on the right, the log server, and it's deleting my logs there. Now the firewall's collapsing. If you press Y, you can go back home really fast. You see what I mean about it being insane? And you can go to here to restore your firewall, right? You can see how we're actually being attacked. Our firewall's getting smashed. And it's because we've actually unlocked a whole bunch of overload and RAM programs attacking us. There's hostile programs as well. Like, I can't really keep up with this. So what actually happens if you just let it attack you? See that? It's docking me 3 seconds? More like 2 seconds, I guess, because the clock's still going on as well. So essentially, each one of those is docking me clock, right? What I can do is, if I press right bumper, I can go to one of these hostile programs. I can go into that node and press X, or blue or whatever, to clean it up. So you can sort of go bumper A X. Oh, wow, it's actually attached to that node up there. That's funny. What's this there? Oh, okay, interesting. Anyway, so we clean that up, though we've lost so much clock. So what you want to do is probably try and get your firewall back in order, if you can help it. And that little hot quick travel back to the front of the dungeon, let's say, button that I pressed, if I get out of here and press it again, it puts me back. Well, let's say we put it back here. We want to panic and go back to the firewall. We press Y and it brings us home. All right. And then you go and clean up the firewall, whatever. And then if you press Y again, it puts you, it puts you back out the last hostile node, I think. Oh, it's starting to boggle my mind a little bit. There you go. That's much better. There you go. Anyway. Oh, so much to unpack. So we've got a few programs. Well, not a few. We've only really got one that we've unlocked. And you can see here on the firewall, if I press run repair, I can turn this program on and see at the top left, the Nexus, the 3 bits of processing power. This is using up a bit of processing power to constantly repair my firewall at a slow tick, right? But it's something. It buys you a bit of time. So you get these little programs. Now we're going to lose here, but that's okay. So you get these little programs that, device has been cleared and locked. Right? That's okay. Log back in, give it another go. I know it calls itself a roguelite, but unless the core game is going to change, this is more playing like a campaign, right? If you don't pass the mission, you fail, you go back. Like, I don't think I have the capacity to restart the run, but this could be a demo constraint. Anyway, so there's a lot to unpack there. Let's go to the little shops and I'll show you the sort of meta upgrades. And then we'll go back into a run. I might explain a little bit more, but there's all those moving parts, I will tell you now, were taught to me quite effectively through the tutorialization, right? We've done like 10, 15 missions and it taught me fairly well. So if you're overwhelmed, that's fine, but know that you wouldn't be if you played up to where I was. And this is all a little bit generic, but you can see thread capacity 2 and 3, how many processors you can have. The default is 2. So remember I could have 3 different programs running at it. Not programs, it's processes. The program is different. That's the passive sort of constant spell casting. I don't know what else to call it that we had for healing, right? In fact, if we go to the software thing, you could probably see it. Repair level 1. Now I've bought a couple of these. Drainer programs run on different data nodes automatically drain the data. Yes, I can show you that, but that will come. When a program run on the log server deletes logs automatically. Oh, I didn't realize that I had a cleaner program. I must have just bought that on autopilot. That's kind of cool. Running on proxy keygate, breaks the lock, breaks it autonomously, right? So a lot of this stuff is to free you up. So instead of having to sit and wait for something to unlock, you can slap it with a program. You can see here, you can make your firewall a bit stronger, your processing power. Well, there you go. We start with 1 processing power here, and that I generally dedicate to the firewall, right? Wingman. Want to make a mark the node. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Anyway, so it's all a little bit generic, the upgrades, once you get your head around it. Now, what else can we talk about? Well, let's go in and we'll turn this program on straight away, right? Even though it has nothing to repair, it is on, and you can see at our Nexus, it's used up at the moment. See how it's grayed out, our 1 processing power, right? Now, the highway is how you make money and you drain sort of accounts. This broker program represents it. But you can see once that is full on the left side of the screen, that means you've gotten everything that you can possibly get, right? The alert level, we were talking about cleaning logs before. Every time you do a sort of hostile action to the game, it puts a log server request. You can see there on the right side, the little pips there. No, when I unlock a node or do something, essentially, it puts a little marker there. And when that finally fills up, it's a doom timer. It'll cache out into the core. See, at the core, when we start, that'll be at level 1. But if we do fill the server log all the way up, it's a no turning back scenario. It'll increase the core each time you fill that up. And what that does is it makes the game attack you more aggressively. You notice that when, when I let the programs get a control, I couldn't actually combat them with the firewall. Like they were hitting me too hard. So they're from enemy programs that you want to try and disable with a minigame. But the actual enemy server itself, the core, also pulses you. You can't stop that, and that's one of the sort of antagonistic components. So essentially, you want to clear your logs as much as possible, and it is interesting. You want to balance not panicking. things like deleting the log or repairing your firewall, they don't actually cost any log points because they're not hostile actions towards the computer. Anyway, so we're going to give this a bit of a go. And worth noting is RAM and Overload are two of the hostile programs that are attacking us. And you want to find them and delete them to take the pressure off. Now, Overload you saw the effect of, which was what it was spawning those little skulls on nodes, and I can use right and left bumper at the top. You can see hostile programs to try and just to scan through them, find them, and just interact with them to delete them. RAM's a little bit different. RAM is like the main core. It's just constantly pulsing, constantly attacking. You have to find it and delete it to take the pressure off. So we're going to start it, and I'm going to move fast. And hopefully we do all right. But the idea is ultimately get through it as fast as you can. Keep coming back to clean the server log. Delete the RAM and overloads like high priority. Find the document package on the network so we can download it. Do not increase the alert level for a bonus. So we want to stay on top of that log clearing. And also, if we can stay in here long enough, try and get the highway filled up so we get as much money for meta currency. All right, a bit to do. Here we go. Ready, set, go. All right. So this, like there, you can this here you can see you can go into this and you can hack it to find out the account. But the thing is, you don't really need to in this. This will be like an employee or something, Marcus Lucy, but your mission might be find Marcus Lucy, that sort of thing. All right, there we go. On top of that, here we go. You got to just turn these green, so it's not the most, it's a bit of an Among Us. There's another one that's like Minesweeper, which is pretty cool. There's the enemy core. Oh, so they're just little gates. Here, these are things that you can drain for the highway. So what we're going to do is we're going to unlock these. That'll take, look at that, look how long integrate takes. It takes a long time, but now, see, we've got more processing power. In fact, we can turn this one on, can't we? To constantly clean the logs. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so what we'll do is we'll go down here and turn that on there. So what happens is you can see this is constantly draining and you can see our highway is turning up. All right, this is like Minesweeper, yeah, right? So a pip in the corner means there's an adjacent node, right? So this is telling us that there is a node there. This is telling us there's definitely not a node there. If I press that, it will fail and kick me, right? You go back in. So you can see here, you'll figure out pretty quick. That means that there's a node. That means that there's a node. Turned off, done. You might need to rewind that and have a look at that. Once you get your head around it, you'll understand it. Oh, this is really handy having the server log constantly get cleaned. I didn't realize I had that program. Okay, here we go. Download document package prog from the network. Is this going to be hidden in one of these data drives? Doesn't look like it. All right, we'll keep looking. We'll keep looking. Turn that on there. Oh wow, we've got this under control now. Here we go. Prog. Oh, here we go. Prog G rescore. There it is there, right? So bang, we'll extract that. So that's our main mission completed. Oh, what's this? A new mechanic perhaps. The game's freezing me out. Unauthorized download in progress. Oh, I think the game's cracked the shits. It's alright, we're okay. We haven't found the RAM yet, which is a bit frustrating. There it is there. Oh, there they both are. So that's cool. That's whoops. That's a cool example that we've kind of got it under control now. It helps that the log is like, we're not actually being attacked super hard. The firewall is being attacked and the log is logging, but we're doing so at such a rate that we're kind of staying on top of it. All right, so now look at this. We've unlocked way more processing power on our Nexus. You can see there. And what's that mean? It means we can go pretty fucking burko plugging all these in. And I can do this one manually because we don't have enough. We can just, oh, but that's upsetting the log. Oh, shit. Oh, that was, I nearly increased the alert level just because so the programs don't generate that log, because that would be very frustrating, but me manually going in there and spamming it like a spud did, and because I went so hard because I have 3 processors, I nearly just blew out the entire log server. What an idiot. Okay, well there you go. Look, we've completed the highway. We've got max money. We've only got 30 seconds left. Didn't increase the alert level. We're going to detach here. Bang. Mission complete. Max chickens. And there you go. So that's what drop is. Oh. This is new. Additional download. Okay. I might have reached the end of the demo, actually. That might be perfect timing. File was quarantined. Oh. Right. Well, anyway, let's not linger too much. So there you go. There's my overview for drop. At least as it stands in the demo build. Very solid, very clean. Will be available in the next couple of days. And beyond that, the full release will be, well, I guess it's probably about 7 or 8 weeks after this video goes up. So that's actually really quite exciting. Yeah, check it out yourself. Let me know if you like this format a little bit better. It's a little bit cleaner, a little bit tighter. I don't want to go quite scripted, quite formal, but rattling off some dot points and then walking you through the gameplay loop, I think might be of better service than the old school without being too much of a strict review, because I'm not really made for that content either. Also, it's probably worth mentioning, if you want to support the channel, being a channel member is a big thing, so I've got links down in the description for that. I've also stood up a Patreon. These are the best ways to support me in the current climate on YouTube. So go ahead and join across there if you want to support my work. Anyway, team, again, let me know what you think. Might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.